Are you Manglik? Have you also heard that your marriage will be spoiled or delayed, or there will be obstructions in marriage because of Mangal Dosh? Are you also afraid of the effect of Mars in your chart? Well, let us now discuss about what exactly is Mangal Dosh, also known as Kuja Dosh or being Manglik. Namaste, I am Chandramukhi from Astro Saraswat, your celestial guide, and today let us discuss about Mangal Dosh. So what exactly is Mangal Dosh? Well, when the planet Mars or Mangal is sitting in certain houses in the chart, then a person is considered to be Mangalik. Now, which are these houses? The first, second, fourth, seventh, eighth, and 12th houses are where, when Mars is positioned in these houses, a person is said to be Manglik. The same Mangal Dosh is also known as Kuja Dosh or being Manglik, and this is checked actually not just from one reference point but from 3 reference points. So you could be Manglik from Lagna or from Chandra or even from your Venus, meaning that your Mars could be sitting in the first, second, fourth, 7th, 8th or 12th houses from your ascendant or from your moon sign or from your Venus even, and in all 3 situations you would be considered a Manglik. Now, why are people so scared of it? Well, the belief, especially in India, is that if you have Mars in these houses, my goodness, your marriage is just doomed, and you'll have a terrible marriage or maybe a broken marriage, or the husband might die, or the spouse will be sick their whole life. All these kind of things are said when a Manglik marries a non-Manglik person. Now, is it really true? To what extent is it true? Or is it just a hyped up thing? Well, the thing is that if you think about it, if Mars is sitting in one of these positions, that's already 5 out of the 12 houses which are there in the chart. So it's almost like half of the population is going to be Manglik, right? And that's just from one reference point. What to speak of, a person might be Manglik from the Lagna and another person might be Manglik from the moon. So it's like definitely more than half of the population is going to be Manglik from one or the other reference point. So it is really not something to be afraid of. It's really not something to be scared of. Rather, as I always say, we should try to understand what exactly is happening with those planets. Why are we even considering this as an issue? The reason for that is because Mars is a very powerful and a very strong planet. So naturally it brings a certain kind of effect in the chart, right? So Mangliks have certain traits. So it's not that, because Mars is over there, that is why married life is disturbed. Rather, I would say that being Manglik brings certain traits in a person which could potentially lead to difficulties. So let us discuss about being Manglik regardless of the relationship that a person is in, right? So Mars represents an army man, right? Mars represents fire and energy and passion, strength, war, fighting, the fighting spirit is there with Mars. Now think about it. If Mars is there in the first house, right, Mars is naturally going to make the person very feisty. The person will be very passionate about things and very easily angered, right, because it's there right in the Lagna, in the first house. If it's there in the second house, which is the house of speech, then Mars brings a certain amount of harshness in speech. Now think about it. If a person is harsh in their way of speaking, that can naturally lead to situations where there will be conflict because of what a person says. That is regardless of what relationship a person is in, right? So it is not about Mars affecting marriage. It is rather that Mars brings certain qualities in a person and a person should be aware of them. Now, naturally it is said that if a Mangalik person marries another Mangalik, then the dosha is naturally cancelled out. Why is that? Because the reason is that 2 Manglik people, both fiery nature, they'll fight with each other for 5-10 minutes, and say all kind of stuff. And then it will just fizzle out and they'll relax and they'll forget about it and no big deal. Whereas if there's a non-Manglik person, then because of the energy levels not matching, because of the way of expression is not matching, then what happens is that one person will hold on to the fight and the other person will have moved on because they've already said what they wanted to say and they've expressed themselves and they've had an outburst, and they're done with it. So it's not about Mars affecting the marriage, it's rather Mars affecting the nature of a person, and indirectly then that affects all relationships in that person's life. And marriage just happens to be one of the most important relationships that a person has in life, because of which, it naturally affects the marriage as well. However, if a person is careful, they can easily deal with it very nicely. It is not something to be scared of. Now, the myth that, the person will die or the person will be sick throughout life, well, that is not true. Unless Mars is sitting in the 8th house of death and long-term diseases, then yes, then there could be a certain fear or a certain danger to the spouse because of that positioning of Mars. But I've personally also seen Mangliks getting married to non-Mangliks and they're living, their married lives happily for like 35-40 years. Where is the problem? It's just, the question is to build understanding, to have good communication, to be willing to understand each other. Mangliks are very passionate. They are intensely passionate about the people that they love and the things that they love even. So if a Manglik is going to do something, they're going to give their 100% into it. They're going to really, put their all. Now, if the other person, if the non-Manglik spouse or partner does not match their energy, then the Manglik, they get a bit disappointed, hey, I'm putting in so much energy, the other person is not quite matching it up. And that then creates conflict. And on top of that, the Mangliks will then be very expressive, why didn't you do that? I'm putting in so much energy, you're not matching up. And the other person is like, whoa, hold on. That's too much energy for me. Mangal in certain houses makes it very prominent. It gives a lot of energy. It gives a lot of passion to the person, to their way of expression, to their intensity in relationships. If Mangal is there in the 7th house, the person is very intensely involved in their relationship. They want to give it their all. They are, expressive and they want to intensely, passionately show their love. Now, is that a good thing or a bad thing? We cannot really label it as good or bad. That is just the nature of a person, right? So definitely Mangal Dosh is not something to be scared of. It is not something to be worried about. Rather, it is important for people to understand what Mangal Dosh really is. Now, there are certain cancellations as well of Mangal Dosh. For example, if Mangal is sitting in his own house or in the house of exaltation, right, or if it is in certain positions, then the Mangal Dosh is cancelled. Or rather, I would say reduced. Actually, really, even if Mangal Dosh is cancelled, some amount of effect will be felt. It doesn't entirely cancel it out, but the intensity of the effect of Mars might be reduced because of the cancellation. So that is another thing to take into consideration. So what is very important actually is to match the entire charts. When somebody is looking for compatibility and marriage, it is important to match the entire charts, not just be concerned about one Mangal Dosh. You cannot place too much importance on one aspect, leaving aside the rest. The entirety of the chart has to be taken into consideration. Just having Mangal Dosh in itself is not enough to break a marriage. It will create some amount of disturbances, primarily because of this difference in levels of energy that the two partners are going to put into the relationship. But that is something which, with understanding, right, with proper communication, with effort, can definitely be taken care of. It is not something to be scared of. It's not something to be worried about, but rather can be very nicely dealt with. Now, another important thing about being Manglik is that Mangliks have a difficult time in setting boundaries. They are actually people pleasers. They want to do things in a way that everybody is happy with them. So, it actually leads to situations where a person feels like they are being taken advantage of because they are not able to set boundaries, they are not able to say no. And that in itself then creates another dynamic in the relationship, right? Because you wouldn't want to feel like your spouse or your partner is taking advantage of you. So that brings another dynamic into it. If both partners are manglik, then they will be able to understand each other well. If not, then an extra effort has to be put to understand each other's nature rather than reacting to the other person's actions or way of communicating or way of feeling, right? So that is one important thing to keep in mind. I hope this has cleared certain doubts about Mangal Dosh. If you do not know whether you're a Mangalik or not, and if you want to know more about your chart, then do visit www.astrosaraswat.com and book up a consultation, and we can discuss how it is in your chart. Namaste.